get some panel discussion. And well, we were just wondering where on earth the atheist opposition to feminism was coming from. Go ahead.
I think it's coming from albatross.
You're partially right.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Like, what do you think, albatross?
I can't really. A lot of where I've seen it coming from is from the YouTube spheres like Sargon of Akkad and the Amazing Atheist and so on. Hell, even Lockett has gotten in on the fun. And I think honestly, it's just a case of as the religious right has kind of been losing more battles, especially in their quest to stop gay marriage and so on. That's kind of been thwarted at multiple turns. It's just become a lot. I don't know. Picking on Christians isn't as fun as it used to be anymore. Right. You do get some pretty batshit insane, like SJW types. And you know, the more batshit insane someone is, the easier it is to pick on them and to make entertaining content out of them.
Well, what was the thing that Thunderfoot said that completely him and PZ Myers had a huge falling out, right? Where they were buddies, and they got along great until I guess Thunderfoot started. What was it? He started writing on the blogs. What the fuck was the blog? Free thought blogs, and those are crunchy chips. Oh no, it's fine. Now I'm getting hungry. So yeah, it were free thought blogs where you could go on there, and I guess you could say whatever you want. And Thunderfoot was told, yes, you could say whatever you want, anything you want. You have full, carte blanche on what you can do. And I don't know what Thunderfoot wrote, but he wrote something that got him kicked off immediately, and it had to do with something about writing about women's rights, or I don't know if you know, Albatross, what transpired, but he got kicked off, and that had to do with his thoughts on feminism, I guess. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know the specific incidents. I have to be honest, I don't really keep up that much with Thunderfoot.
Oh, neither do I. This happened a couple years ago.
I know Ed Brayton. I haven't talked to him in a while, though.
Who's Ed Brayton?
I think he's one of the people who runs free thought blogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you know of what happened? Like, do you know what, Nadia, what happened between him and PZ Myers about the whole, how Thunderfoot got in trouble for that, or it was about feminism, was it not?
I don't think it was exactly. I don't remember very precisely, but it seemed not very, perhaps, I guess, noteworthy to, I guess, them back then. I think it was mostly that there was some kind of thing after a.
Yeah, there was.
I don't recall this being relating to, I guess, thoughts regarding feminism. Hard to say.
But feminism is a topic that can get you easily in trouble. If you, right? I mean, that's what I see. I see that if you fucking say something that you thought was, I don't know, anything, like, fuck, it just seems like you could say anything. It could be so offensive now that atheists jump on it. Sargon of Akkad is doing, a good job. I try and follow him as much as possible. He does that This Week in Stupid, which is very popular. but yeah, he talks about that and several other people, and it's just like, yeah, it's just I don't know why it is a hot topic. How do you see it out there?
I see kind of a bizarre. I don't know. I mean, what I understood of anti-feminism historically was more along the lines of like, actual like, conservatives and religious people and such, basically doing their conservative, religious, and that sort of things, and it's like having, I guess, what you might think of forces that should be more to the left, somehow coming up against feminism is rather bizarre. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. It's very bizarre. But I don't get like who do you think is how do you say it? Like who do you think is like starting the fire? Like who is the we've all seen that video of that woman where she just completely loses it, and it's just like people are just scared to talk about it. Feminism just seems to put everybody in this fucking either you're with us or against us. There's no in between. Like what is what's his name? And he's been getting a lot of flack for it. Steve Shives, right? Getting a hell of a lot of flack, right? Where you're talking about a guy that used to be pretty popular, and now he's like, they everybody, as soon as I mention his name, everybody kind of laughs, it could get yourself, it could get yourself in serious fucking, you could become a joke overnight if you're not careful.
Yeah, well, in Shah's case, I mean, I've seen the difference in his argumentation and whatnot between when he's talking about, say, religion, and as soon as he gets onto the subject of feminism, he seems to just undergo this massive cognitive dissonance. He just seems to throw his skepticism and empiricism right out the window.
Right.
Well, most of what I find is the normative components are heavily disputed, and that I can basically, get people to acknowledge or grant or similar the, descriptive components with of the underlying facts. And, okay, what do you do about them? Well, there you go. So, I mean, do I actually argue so differently when it comes down to various topics, or?
I don't know. I haven't seen you really I haven't watched you take on this particular topic. How do you feel about feminism? Like, how do you feel where it's going? Like, do you think it's going in the right direction, or do you think it's just like, how do you think it's just, is everybody just slow, or is everybody stupid, or like, how do you feel about it? I am completely confused by it.
Yeah, I think
I see people where guys are either completely pussy whipped by it, or they go to the far right about it, and then it's that you're with us or against us kind of mentality.
Yeah, I think the revolution should be a feminist revolution as well as an anarchist and communist one. Go ahead.
Ambrose, how do you? I'm sorry, Ambrose. I called him a fucking wrestler. That's hilarious. Albatross. That's funny. I called him Ambrose. I can't believe that name. Albatross, do you feel that it is like you really have to watch what you say, and do you think that feminism? For me, it's just completely confusing. To me, I don't get. I think the people they have in charge, like Anita Sarkeesian these people hurt their movement, if anything.
Oh, I would agree with that. I see a lot of the figures like Rebecca Watson and Anita
Yes.
Sarkeesian who they discredit the movement more than any critics of feminism could hope to.
Yeah, to me, they
Um,
do it for money. It seems like they don't really, um, of course, everybody does something for money. We all need to live, but it seems like she's kind of purposely, um, like the Arkita Sarkeesi. She does the video games. They're showing too much male ass in video games.
And too little.
I like guys' buns.
Oh, so do I.
Anyway,
But
yeah.
I don't need to. But I look at him differently than you. I think, fuck, that guy's been working out. I don't sit there and go, I wouldn't mind, squeezing that. I just think, hey, if the guy works out, he works out. It looks good. Give him credit. I don't give a shit. I'm not gay. But who gives a shit? Like, to me, it's like when I was a kid, I look up at Schwarzenegger. I would sit there and look at him and just think, what a fucking specimen that man is. You're at awe. You see the muscles ripple. You see him picking shit up, flexing. That's the same as these video games. As a kid, little kids enjoy seeing that, seeing a dude full of muscles pick somebody up. She takes it as, and I think it's total bullshit, she takes it as it's sexism. The women, their breasts are too big. Well, of course they're too big. I mean, that's just the way they're made. I mean, go to one of these where they make the games. Watch the people who make the games, and I guarantee you, about 30–40% of them are females that are working on these games too. Am I wrong?
I can't speak to that percentage, but
I don't know about the percentage.
I can say that, like Bayonetta, for example, that was designed by a woman.
Which one?
Bayonetta, the one with the very sexualized witch person.
And does it show like a witch with big tits and stuff?
Oh yeah, doesn't she have like that special ability where her clothes come off and her hair forms her clothes and shit?
That's what I mean. So I didn't know that, but that's designed by a woman. I don't see people freaking out, like guys jumping around going, wait a minute here, wait a minute. I'm not going to buy this. This is ridiculous. You're buying it because you enjoy it. It's a fantasy. Everyone has a fantasy. And what they're telling you, Anita Sarkeesi and people like that, are telling you that it's wrong to enjoy a fantasy. No fucking kid.
I don't. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't really follow much in the way of feminist video criticism, but on the other hand, when I've been told this name before, I found that they have no publication history of any kind whatsoever. And so I'm pretty much, I mean, I don't have anything to talk, there's nothing to be talked about as far as I can tell. I mean, whatever they're doing on YouTube, I mean, it's doesn't seem to have a great deal of connection to any of the sources I read on the subject. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like, what other thing did they do on the news? What was it? Was it the feminists? What the fuck? She was asking for, I think Anita Sarkeesi was asking for $300,000–$400,000.
Oh yeah, to make that documentary about like women in history.
Oh my god. It's like, it just, to me it's just a charlatan. And if I was a woman, and I would just, I would be annoyed that she's trying to be my voice. Don't tell me what you want. I know what the fuck I want. I don't need you to stick up for me. This isn't 1970, 1950. This is 2016. I could easily cause a, you could easily go on YouTube. You could make videos. You could, if it really bothers you, you don't need to go through this, a waste of a fucking, Anita Zarkezy to tell you what you want. I think she does it just for, hey, this is a way of me making money, and she's been making serious money doing this stuff. What's her name? Jacqueline Glenn. That's another one. That did she not just make a video of her fingering a girl on YouTube? Right? I mean, it's just so stupid. You know, I'm a woman. Look, I could touch another woman. I'm just thinking, are you like, you're just doing this just for hits? You know, you're doing this.
Where do I sign up?
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of reminds me of like yelling, "I'm out and I'm proud," right in the middle of your local YMCA. It just doesn't really accomplish much.
Yeah, it to me, it's just to anything. I think it hurts a woman's movement. I would just sit there and go, shut the fuck up. I would want somebody. I wouldn't know who I would want, but I would want something better than what's out there right now. I wouldn't want a Jacqueline Glenn. I wouldn't want Anita Zarkezy. I wouldn't want any of these fucking clowns. I would want you know, a strong woman. And there's fucking millions and millions of these women out there that are 10, you know, million times better to look up to and to listen to than these bozos that you know, it's like watching TMZ. You know, you're going, holy shit, really?
Well, the representatives, I guess you I find on like YouTube or similar are rather poor. I mean, say of atheism. I mean, it's like, when's the last time a YouTube atheist actually, you know, went about presenting arguments for the fact that there are no such things as gods and Moses and Jesus Christ never existed? Not that often. I mean, at least amongst the, you know, 250,000 or more subscriber mark, right? Okay. I mean, basically, like, all I've ever seen out of that is like some kind of bizarre drama fluff, right? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, it's a hot topical issue. It's just a lot more fun to make fun of something that's more, I want to say, apparent in the mainstream media nowadays. I mean, look, I still think the good fight against the religious right needs to continue, but like I said, since the whole thing with the Supreme Court verdict on gay marriages, it's felt a lot like we've already won a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's easy for someone who's basically not had their life shattered by the cultural hegemony of Christianity over the United States. And also, furthermore, I mean, you're in South Africa. That's a different story anyway.
Well, I lived in
the 90s.
Remember, okay. I've seen the religious right in action there.
Yeah. Okay, and also, I mean, I don't know, in analyzing the vectors of oppression in scenarios, anti-categorical complexity is probably a more feminist kind of analysis than, I guess, one woman fingering another one on a YouTube video. So, anyway. I mean, I don't think these representatives of almost any topic who achieve any popularity are very good. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I just think it's a bit of a shame. There are some legitimate grievances I hear raised by some of the more, I should say, moderate feminists, but it tends to get drowned out by these hypersensitive extremists that we often see on YouTube and on Tumblr and the like. Things like, yeah, like school dress codes. I think it's ridiculous to send like a 6-year-old girl home for wearing a tank top. I can assure you, ain't no boy in that class who's 6 years old gives a fuck about her shoulders.
No, I know, but I think they do it for... There's so many fucking perverted dudes out there. I think, I mean, do you ever see that show, the one where they dress up the kids? Like, they dress them up like for pageants, and they're only like 6 or 7 years old, but they dress them up like women.
Yeah, that is disgusting in itself.
Yeah, that is just... but that to me is like, if you're a sick dude, you would get off on that, and I get that. But yeah, if a girl's in school and her tank top is a little short, I mean, she's a fucking little kid. There shouldn't be any men, you know, hanging out. Like, if there are people, you know, in the schoolyard. I mean, my kid, I've got that thing where newsletter where, hey, the kids spotted you know, a guy in a truck. That's why you see more of a police presence, is because there was a guy spotted in a truck that was talking to the kids, asking the kids information, and he sped off, and he's in this black truck. So I get that, but yeah, of course. When I mean, what was it, like, you know, when you're 6 or 7 years old, you have no interest in girls. You think they got cooties, you know?
Yeah.
They do that just to, not to the kid. They do it to fucking perverted people that you know, clearly have problems. But it just shows you how fucked up society has gone, Albatross. You know, when I was growing up, it was never, and you hear that all the time. You hear people say that. You know, when I was growing up, I never had that. I mean, I never seen so many. I mean, is it not every fucking day that you hear, you know, something like, oh, there's rape. There's another rape. You know, somebody was being charged at a campus for rape, and it's just like, holy shit. I never, like on CNN today, they were talking about how, I guess, a judge pleaded not guilty because the girl was getting a blowjob is not rape because she was drunk, so she didn't have sex. And there's, of course, it's a big uproar and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't know anymore. You know, I don't know what's going on anymore. Every day it's like, you know, rape culture or something is you know, weird.
Yeah, that's actually another one of my contentions with the feminist movement, at least on the internet. You see a lot of this kind of broadening of the definition of rape.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes to ridiculous extremes. I mean, have you heard of stare rape?
Yes, my buddy used to do that at the bar. I used to tell him, like, dude, you cannot. He used to get all bent out of shape, going, why am I not picking up? And I just tell him, I go, because you look at him, because you're gonna rape him. Okay, you gotta you gotta look at him normal. Like, don't look at him like you've never seen a vagina in your life, pal. You know.
No. That's putting on your rape face. I'm talking about stare rape. That's when apparently by
like
looking at a woman, you're raping her.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, I you know, like, if a guy's staring at a woman, I don't know. Maybe she just, you know, have you ever been somewhere where a person has stared at you? Just really gave you, like, the looks, and you just...
Generally, I get stared at everywhere I go.
Well, okay, but if they looked at you, like, weird, like, not weird, like stare rape. Have you ever had that? Oh shit! You were away when we were talking about that, so you have no idea what we're talking. We're talking about when
I'm used to more people of like beating my face in and you know, making me bleed out my ass for you know, 4 to 6 weeks at a time when they rape me. So I'm not sure I would call or be happy with someone claiming getting stared at is equivalent to what I underwent. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
and
fuck,
what pisses me off is that the same people who talk about stare rape are the ones who are saying, why don't people believe rape victims? It's because of people like that who will claim that staring at a woman is rape, which doesn't meet any legal definition of rape, any country that I know of. So yeah, there's a reason you gotta ask a lot more questions nowadays when someone says that they've been raped.
Well, I am probably one of the ones who's not too happy with things being done about rape, but yeah, I don't fit either of the categories you're trying to subdivide things into.
Hmm.
Oh well.
No, that is terrible. I didn't know that. But
Yeah, well, it's like,
wow, that put a damper in the fucking rape conversation.
oh,
No, that's
somebody's been raped. Yeah, that's.
but to be stared at. You know what's weird? We've all. There was a guy that he used to stare at people, but he was just. That's just the way he looked, and he used to get in a lot of trouble by looking at people. But there are people that do have problems of staring too much, and they can make people uncomfortable. So for me, it's just like, it's just the way they are. But you know, you live in a society now where, fuck, you're scared. I mean, you watch the news. Every commercial is, you better buy an Infinity. It'll save your life. Everything is scary, right? Um, Nadia just said, well, she's been raped. I mean, that's just it hit.
A lot of times, even.
You've been raped more than once.
Yeah, I didn't really have to do calendrics to estimate. And then it comes to what is it? How many instances versus how many individuals were involved in the acts or whatever.
And this has happened a couple times.
I'd say it was like a few hundred incidents, and I guess if you multiply through to the number of people, probably approaching 1,000 that way. So. What is this?
Huh.
Yeah. Well, it's between 80 and 85. So.
Wow. Oh, that is brutal. Well, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know. That is horrific. Are you okay?
Well, I've had orthodontia, whatever it is, to correct the, I guess, damage to my secondary teeth. Or, when the primary teeth are knocked out that way, they creates, I guess, incorrect grow-in patterns for the secondary teeth. So I've had some of that corrected with orthodontia. Maybe not a full correction. And I guess there's something like a skin tag. What do you call it? Perianally? And I guess it's impaired motion of my lips. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's also a little bit of lacrimal bone fracture that was never treated. So yeah, basically cockeyed.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
did this, was this at a party or something? Like you got jumped by a bunch of people?
Oh, they're repetitively went on for years, and it was at school.
That's fuck. Were they charged?
Eventually one got charged. Yeah.
That's horrible.
I could name a few of them.
Well, that's horrible, man. I had no idea.
Yeah, I'll bring it up now.
Well, I hope
Sorry?
I hope they get caught, right? I hope that go to jail for that shit. That is absolutely unacceptable.
The one who was prosecuted in '85 is basically the only one that ever did anything, and I think that was charged as a juvenile, whatever it is. So, and I think the statute of limitations is I think it's definitely got to be like under 30 years. So.
Right.
Let me Google, see what it is.
I think it's like 25 years or something. David.
Oh,
yes.
Who just showed? Oh, excellent. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
All right. Why are there atheists suddenly opposing feminism or whatever it is? I haven't. I think that they'd be natural allies, given that. Well, I don't know. Religion is misogynistic, right? Go ahead.
Well, I guess it's because feminism requires the understanding of social constructions, and atheism today is ideologically immersed in some kind of pre-60s positivist naturalism. That's my short answer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's.
So, if you look at the history of atheism, the modern history of atheism, it's got this rationalist ideal, which perhaps is too good for its own self. So it hasn't really, in my view, really adopted the latter academic development from sociology, even I would say, but also gender studies and social anthropology and culture studies. So it kind of is a little bit stuck in this kind of naturalistic framework and don't really understand society and social construction. So that's why I think atheism kind of almost moves a little bit. I mean, it becomes a bit conservative. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
In the sense of you see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm generally. What on earth? Would I say? Probably more aligned with the, I guess, postmodernist kinds of affairs, and also, I am extremely anti-religious. I mean, I'm quoting Mikhail Bakunin here. The idea of a god, just the idea of it, implies the abdication of all human reason and justice, right? I mean, to translate to English for you. Whoops, I don't sound like I have a high opinion of religion, do I? And of course, religion and to be, ultimately some kind of instrument of the cis-normative, heteronormative, white supremacist capitalist patriarchy. The total abolition of all religion is necessary precondition for the anarchist, communist, feminist revolution. Yeah, sure. Of course, what is it? The abolition of religion as the illusory happiness of people is the demand for the real happiness, and as the criticism of heaven becomes criticism of earth, criticism of religion becomes criticism of law, and criticism of theology becomes criticism of politics, right? So, I mean,
Yes.
I'm pretty much going along that strand, and it's like, holy cow, who are these atheists going back? I'm out here, pushing arguments, that it's logically impossible for there to be any such things as God. So, a lot of things say continent externalism for something of a logical argument against physical minds, or for physical minds, and Quentin Smith's sort of anti-Kalam argument dumbed down a bit, and weighing whatever kind of transcendental argument seems to go against any possibility of knowledge in their framework as they presented it thus far. Okay. Reducing to global skepticism, therefore, it might as well be deed refutation, right? Okay. And I pretty much started the religious right because, of course, the religious right is the source of anti-LGBT sentiment, according to large-scale polling organizations like Gallup and Pew. Right. This is not particularly mysterious how I come to it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, going off, and then it's like, hey, wait a minute, this atheist thing I've allied myself with and all that, they're turning against feminism and such. It's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I've clearly thought about it, but not. It's. I mean, it's. I mean, now when you really put it in this question, it makes you think. But it's clearly, as I understand, in the beginning of it, like, yeah, why isn't there a better relationship between feminism and atheism? As right, is that your kind of like logically? Yeah, like logically, it should be. I mean, atheism should be on the forefront of criticizing religion in some sense, and religion, as you said, is not really famous for their feminism, so to speak, historically speaking.
Yeah, I mean, I show up at feminist meetings or whatever and say, I got arguments to prove there are no such things as gods and Jesus Christ never existed, and they're like, yay! Yeah, I go out to the atheist things and it's like, free abortion on demand and without apology, and they're like, ah! Wait a minute. Why is there a little bit of asymmetry here?
Yeah. So I guess there must be something going on then. There must be something. I guess atheism as a movement must be. I don't know. It must be the neoliberal ideology that has kind of. I don't know. They must have kind of grown together from during the last century. I mean, that kind of atheism that could have been really. I think it's, if you look at, I mean, atheism is not really that Marxist, I guess, today. I mean, they haven't really adopted that kind of thinking, right? That kind of reversing society, looking at how this. It's because I would say maybe I don't know. It's because they're so individualist, I guess. The what do you call it? The autonomous subject. So it's like the free autonomous subject is part of the new atheist movement, and it's kind of I see this as pretty, in general sense, pretty much emerged with the neoliberal ideology, and that in that sense, feminism seems to be a little bit of a coming from the side with this incorporation of that the human subject can be a product of socioeconomics. You know what I mean? Like I don't see a new atheism and the modern atheism accepting that kind of analytical perspective. I think the autonomous subject is important for the atheist movement. So that's why I think they, yeah.
Oh my God,
just,
Google Plus is such a mess. I couldn't
No
figure out
worries.
how to get in. Yeah.
All good.
Yeah. Hi, it's been a while, Nadia. How are you?
Oh, excellent, excellent. David and I were just going on about how, I guess, quote-unquote new atheism is, you know, distinct in character from the, I guess, elder strains of, like Marxists and, you know, I guess, anarchists and so on sorts of atheism, right? I mean, like my quote on this here is Mikhail Bakunin, right? Okay, well, I don't think a whole lot of anarchist critiques of religion are getting circulated in the community, or for that matter, I don't even think people are even very broadly even making the case that there are no such things as gods. It's like, hey, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, this and also this kind of like whole anti-postmodern and so on sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I mean that's I mean that would be the shorter way to say the stuff that I tried to say. There's just too strong of an anti-postmodernism going on within new atheism. I mean, it's just there's no nuances. I think they just reject it all. So I don't think they are in tune with what use postmodernism can be. I mean, of course, I can see where some really strong postmodernism can be, you know, have their problems. But I think, as far as atheism goes today, it's just too uninterested in what some postmodernist academics' perspective had really brought us, so to speak, as when it comes to language, social constructions, and that sense. I mean, I think atheism just, in a general sense, they don't like it. I think it's kind of undermines something. I don't know what, but yeah, I don't know.
And we covered what is it? I guess like Sargon of Akkad. I think Armored Skeptic is another one, and Thunderfoot being like big YouTube anti-feminists, and
Oh yeah.
I guess what is it? Anita Sarkeesian and Jacqueline Glenn, and another one I think I've heard of is Lacey Green being the feminist, and it's like, you know, frankly, I think they're every last one that's been named is a poor representative of the position they're claiming to be representatives of. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're god awful. You couldn't ask for. I mean, think about you know, being you know, I can't, but you know, being a female and you know, having that fight for me. You know, I don't want that fighting for me. If you look through that and say, well, they're not fighting for me. They're fighting to make more money. They don't give a shit about me. They see an argument that could, you know, they could pull out of their ass and, you know, milk it and milk it and milk it for all it's worth, and you know, we live in this PC bullshit culture that you know, you know, somebody's feelings are being hurt. If one person out of 1 million is being hurt, somebody's feelings is being hurt. So we have to fix this problem. And I think she's doing more damage than you know, she's setting back the clock for women. That's the way I see it. I mean, if I was a woman, I would not want that as my you know, to represent me and my ideas and my thoughts. I mean, I could see through that and just think, this is a scam. These are scam artists.
Yeah, I think in terms of, as so far as Lacey Green, she's by this stage completely sold out. I mean, she's working for MTV now. She's her main priority is to get as many views as she can, and she'll say the most outrageous things. What's more troublesome is there's actually a huge group of people who do actually follow her and agree with her and think she's right. And you know, if you try to disagree with them, oh, you're a misogynist, or
Who is
you know,
this?
big Lacey Green.
I probably disagree with her. I probably think.
But don't you think that's a huge
Go
problem?
far enough.
If you don't agree, then you're a misogynist. You're you know, you're not helping anybody. You're kind of you know, fucking up the person before you even start. You know, if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. I just find that, you know, that is the worst way to get your point across. The best way is just, you know, say whatever needs to be said, and if people follow you, people follow you. If they don't, they don't. But, you know, to me, it just seems like the people that follow her would be like a Jacqueline Glenn. They just follow her because, you know, it's a girl that talks about atheism. You know, sometimes she says something smart. Sometimes she, it's kind of like your little cheerleader group. You know, I mean, is that the type of people you want following you? You want, you want the big fish. You don't want minnows. You want fucking, you know, the big tuna. You don't want 1,000 little minnows jumping around, like agreeing with everything you have to say.
Yeah. Well, you want somebody to say something that's extreme. I mean, I would say wanting to abolish all familiar relation, all bonded relationships, pairs or larger groups, and the I guess gestation of humans within other people's bodies, and of course, I don't know. I guess what is it? Child rearing according to lineage. It's been rather collectivized and such. I think that would count as substantially more extreme. And also, welcome, Christian Anarchist.
So,
Yeah,
Not sure if.
I think,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think I can explain a little bit why people are so quick to call someone else a bigot or a misogynist if they criticize Lacey Green, or more specifically just feminist ideas. Is that there are people who are opposed to feminism from a bigoted position. There actually are people who are opposed just because they're bigots. But there are also people who are opposed to it because they come from a skeptical position. And I don't think everybody, or I don't think many people realize that there are actually legitimate criticisms to be made of the claims that the feminist position takes. And coming from a skeptical position and taking doubt to those claims doesn't mean that I'm coming from a bigoted position. You know, I think the two are getting a bit mixed up.
Yeah, doesn't really get to me very much. Did the link to this leak or something? It was supposed to be limited to, I guess, the panelists who had responded beforehand. Christian Anarchist or Steve? Hello.
Hello.
how did it link to this link? Or how did it link to this leak? Because you may need to turn cameraman on if it's gone too far and wide. Go ahead.
Well, was this supposed to be a private thing?
No, it's supposed to be pre-selected, whatever it is.
Okay.
I mean, basically, it warned me if I need to turn cameraman on. That's the real issue.
I would do it even if you had a private deal, because I used to try that, but even then I still got idiots that came in somehow. So,
Okay. I'll turn it on right now.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, this is not one of those open discussions. I will kick people the hell out if they act like idiots or whatever. Go ahead.
And Nadia, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. No, I just came in to say hi, so I'm just dropping by to say hi. I listen from the outside because I got stuff to do, but I saw a little thing from Vito, and Vito's cool, and I wanted to say hi, Vito. Cool, awesome. So I will listen from the outside, so I'm sure it'll be interesting. Okay. Good luck.
Absolutely. Go see you on, Steve. I don't have to worry about criticism or whatever. Not even too worried about the recalcitrant ones. I wonder if it's just sort of a matter of, I don't know, people having the right approach toward it, I suppose. The other side not conceding or whatever. Go ahead.
So Nadia, I noticed your comment in the event that you said you're usually the only feminist in the room. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
When you say that, do you mean you're the only person? So what do you mean by feminism, I guess, is my question.
Well, this is I'm arguing for a non-essentialist point of view. I'd say that the family resemblance generally contains some kind of advocacy for the improvement of women's status and conditions and redress of women's grievances and all that. Go ahead.
So is it the advocacy portion that makes you a feminist, that you advocate for it actively, or is it just that you hold those values?
All the values. Well, some of the theory, like I don't know. I went over some loose irregulari recently to try to find where it was that she said it's something like what is it? I guess the Einstein equation was misogynistic or something like that. And apparently she never said that. So.
Okay. I guess the point I'm trying to make is if you're saying that you're the only feminist in the room, and you're defining that by the values that you hold, well, I think a lot of people in the room probably hold similar values that, women and men are equals.
Well, I defined it a bit more broadly, but still. Definition is a description, and of course, the usual non-essentialist fuzzy boundaries. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think if someone, what I found is if someone says that they're not a feminist or they don't identify as a feminist, they're opposed to the feminist movement and some of the feminist dogmas, things like we live in a patriarchy, things like that. It doesn't mean that they oppose the equal treatment of men and women. So I think there's a distinction to be made there.
I think the idea of like equal treatment and so on is, a poor conceptualization of what would constitute redress and all that. Go ahead. I mean,
Sorry,
maybe I'm just like.
No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
no worries.
Sorry, I was
Yeah,
eating
maybe I'm
milk.
just too laid back to. Oh, go ahead.
No, fuck, I keep, every time I talk, I talk over you. I'm sorry.
Uh, maybe I'm just like too laid back for to really turn into that much of a fight. Go ahead, Vito.
I was eating nachos, sorry. Fuck, it's killing my stomach. Ugh. God, I wish I had chocolate. Where the fuck, where did Steve McRae go?
Oh, I don't know. It sounds like he was only.
He was there, he said hi, and now he's gone.
Oh, you wanted him to hop back in? I'll try.
Yeah, it
Get
would
a
have
hold
been
of him.
nice if he hung out. Not that you guys, like, what is it? It's like Friday night. It's like a fucking Morgan here. Come on, guys. I got nachos. Let's get rocking.
I do have another open hangout going.
Well, then tell him to get over here. Is there somebody that just won't shut up over there?
Please God, no.
Well, in general,
Wrap
there always
around.
is, but yeah.
What was that?
In general, there always.
Oh, I was making a joke, don't worry.
No. Please tell it. I need something.
Well, this one's
There's this
supposed
one
to be.
guy who likes to come into the open hangouts named Mac, I think Thomas. And he's a very vocal Christian.
Yeah, get him in here. We need World
well,
War III.
actually-
We need chaos, people.
Oh, we can turn it. I kind of rather this one be like a
want this to
self-contained
be
or
mellow?
topical video.
Okay.
Well, no, I
alright.
want it to be topical. So we should hop over to another one if we end up doing that. You want to do that then? Just call this one completed and then run over to one that's open.
Yeah, call it making fun of midgets. That way we should at least get angry people on here, and they'll get us...
Racist.
Yeah, racist something. Just put racist people. Put the KKK live as the title, and then that way we will get... you're making me hungry, Nadia, for fuck's sakes. I mean, I'm eating nachos, too, just to keep up.
How about aborting the second coming of Christ?
Uh-huh.
Or aborting the baby Jesus. I've already done one called aborting the baby Jesus, but I'll do it again. How about that?
Put down baby Jesus was gay for 15 minutes.
Black and gay.
Yes. No, don't put black. You know, that would just... it'd be a mess.
Aborting the gay baby Jesus?
Yeah, we need something, guys. We gotta have, like, you know, like, this is like a fucking Morgan here. I feel like, you know...
This is a very limited distribution link. I start with an open link and we get like the whole world coming, whatever. I can do that though. Bear with me.
Now, I'm probably gonna eat my words, and we'll get G-Man in here acting like a fucking stooge, and I'll cry and just say, man, I wish it was like it used to be, just us guys.
What the heck is this? Oh heck.
I don't know, just us guys. That doesn't sound like a very inclusive space.
No, that's what I mean. You know what? We'll do it like 54, Club 54. Nadia, put down only the good-looking people are allowed in this hangout. And that way, put down only hot people are allowed. And that way, when they try and get on, you just say, you can't get on, but it'll just be us. And we'll just have constant people trying to get on this hangout. It'll be awesome.
Have you heard of this dating website called Beautiful People?
Beautiful.
It's where it's a dating website, but it's only for people who are attractive and successful. And recently, their database got hacked, and all of the people. It's kind of like all their information got leaked. But yeah, they also axed 30,000 members recently because they were either unattractive or looked too old.
Well, that's like that. That would really piss me off though. If that was the. It's like, you ever see that show, that $1 Million Dating or something, like how to like, what's it called? Like, it's like where this girl will try and find women for like multi-millionaire guys. What's that show? There used to be a show like that, and the chick, her face looked like somebody took a shit on her face. Like, her lips are like full of collagen, and she just looks like a fucking. She's got a couch where her face should be. You know, she looks like a complete imbecile. And she matchmakers or something, $1 Million Matchmakers or something it's called. And it's where only like guys that are, you know, that have a lot of money, and all these women are trying to you know, marry this guy or whatever.
Yeah, I think we call it The Bachelor over here.
No, it's not The Bachelor. It's $1 Million Matchmaking or something. It's a match, like, she tries to match, like, her job is to match you. Like, just say you're a multimillionaire, right? Her job is to come in and go to you, all right, you want me to get you a serious girlfriend? I'll find you a good-looking, serious girlfriend. And that's, she goes and looks, like, finds you a match, right? And she makes, like, I don't know, fucking 30% or whatever, but $1 Million, I forget what it's called. Anyways, it's a piece of shit show, and we should forget about it. Forget I even mentioned it, people.
Okay. Well, bear with me while I get the, I guess, open discussion one started up. Okay.
Yeah, if this keeps up, I'm going to punch myself in the balls until I pass out.
Well.
And I could only do that twice.
I will get you the link to the new one once we get to.
So is there anyone in here who is staunchly opposed to the characters of Sargon of Akkad or Thunderfoot?
I guess I'm a feminist, but. Huh?
Well, the only thing that I like Sargon of Akkad, but for the thing that bothers me, and I don't know if it's true, I didn't know that he said this, and I could be misquoting him. Somebody told me that Thunderfoot said that something about rape, and where rape is, you know, he said something that really, it was really weird. I was like, what did he say? Like, and the guy told me again and said, this is what he said for real. He said that, you know, if you force yourself on some women or something like that, I know I'm going to misquote him or say something completely weird, but he said something that was really off the wall and really weird. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I might know what you're talking about. I think it was a couple of years ago he made a video which drawed a lot of controversy. He basically said that if a woman, what was it? Women are more likely to be raped depending on what they wear, and oh yeah, he was saying basically he was opposing the idea that you can teach men not to rape. Okay. The specific thing was there was a woman holding a sign which said, "Don't teach me what to wear. Teach your men not to rape." Something like that. Now he basically made a video opposing that logic, in that a rapist will rape. Okay. Regardless of what the woman is wearing. But basically he was saying that you can't teach a rapist not to rape. They are going to rape, you know.
Right.
And you can reduce your chances of being the victim of that rapist by wearing different clothes. That was basically what he was saying.
Oh, I thought he was saying something about if you have sex and you physically, the way it was worded to me, I wish, I don't want to, I hope it doesn't come out wrong, but he kind of, it'll come out totally wrong. He said it that, my understanding was he said something like, if you force yourself on a woman, sometimes they like it. So
Yeah,
I'm,
well,
I'm sorry about that.
That may be true, but it doesn't mean that it's okay to do that.
No, well, yes, of course.
It's all circumstantial. I mean, I'm not sure exactly which video you're referring to with that statement, but I'm sure if you watched it,
it was something like, it was just really something like really weird that he said that really caught me, like, and it was through somebody else said that said that that's what he said, and I wanted to interview him, and he won't fucking talk to me. So whatever.
Okay. I have the link to the Fresh Hangout in the sidebar text chat. And try to get it actually started on here. Yeah, it's on live now. So I'm running 3 live at once, but anyway.
Should we join that one or?
Taking this one off air as soon as we all get changed over and all that. And then that one will have an open link. And will also be available for broader topics. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna jump over to that one. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
All right, I'll see you on the other side. Be safe.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, I don't think the conclusion to draw from that is necessarily, I don't know if I was hoping, but still. Albatross will be over.